Hello everyone, welcome back. This will be a new chapter now on alkynes. But before we proceed to alkynes, we just want to see the hybridization that is in alkynes, which is an sp hybrid orbitals that are the main ones, which form the triple bond, and it's a linear shape. Also, as you know, this is the characteristics of sp hybrid orbitals. And you see 2 pi's and 1 sigma bond in most alkynes, which have a linear shape as well. So before I discuss in another video or start the new chapter on alkynes, I'm going to discuss on sp hybridization. That is for those who are interested to know more on sp hybridization. You will see how sp hybrid orbitals are formed and how the shape, that is a linear shape, is achieved in hybrid orbitals. Okay, we'll proceed now on the discussion on sp. Okay, now we'll be discussing sp hybridization. The same format, the electronic configuration of carbon before hybridization is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. But now, when we say sp hybridization, we meant that one of the s orbital is hybridized with one of the p orbitals. That means 2 p unhybridized orbitals would remain without being hybridized. So let's do the hybridization. The hybridization would give you 2 degenerate orbitals of sp hybridized. That means one of the s and one of the p would hybridize, and they will contain 1 electron each. But remember, unhybridized orbitals, which are the remaining p orbitals, are 2 of the p orbitals are at higher energy level than the hybrid orbitals. The hybrid orbitals are lower in energy. But still, the p unhybridized orbitals remain at high energy. Now, if we were to draw this on a carbon, the actual shape looks like you have 2 of the sp orbitals. So as I said, the bonding pair, usually where the hybrid orbitals are, usually they want to configure as far apart as possible. Therefore, if you have 2 groups, you only attach them in a 100-degree orientation, as far apart as possible, with 1 electron here, 1 electron on this. So this is the 2 sp hybrid orbitals. There are 2 sp hybrid orbitals, and they would be configured as this, so that the bond angle between the 2 would be as far as possible, which is 180 degrees, which is always known for sp hybrid orbitals. So if I had another carbon, for example, to make a bond, this would have also another sp with 1 electron, then they are making a bond, and here there is another sp with 1 pair. Now let's satisfy this by making a bonding with hydrogen, for example. Hydrogen has 1s with 1 electron to make a bonding situation like this. That is a sigma bond. Remember, always a hybrid orbital with any orbital makes an overlap, which is a sigma type bonding. Here also, if we were to bring on 1 hydrogen, we have 1s with 1 electron that is being shared to make a bond. So this is how the sp configuration looks like. But remember, you have 2 unhybrid orbitals in each one of them. So let's say if you have this is the sp orbital of which is containing carbon, there are p orbitals on both, and there is another p orbital in the z direction. So I will just draw the remaining p orbitals, the unhybridized p orbitals on this. So one of them is 90 degrees to the other. So you would have this p orbital containing one electron, and the other p orbital similarly would have, they are equal size, but I'll just draw it here with one electron. So this is, each one of them have, so they would have 4 of them. So now the other p orbital is 90 degrees to the other one. Therefore, I will just draw this. So it's 90 degrees to this p orbital with one electron here, and this is the p orbital. This is the same p orbital. So this p orbital and that p orbital are 90 degrees to one another. So this one also has a p orbital. So they look like this. So these 2 p orbitals are the unhybridized p orbitals. Now, remember, all hybrid orbitals make a sigma bond. So this is a sigma bond. Here we have hydrogen, which is already made a bond. This is hydrogen, obviously. Now, when you make a bond, the unhybridized p orbitals make always a pi bond. So this and that would pair up their electrons, they make a pi bond. This is a sigma bond. This is a pi bond. Still now, furthermore, the other 90 degree oriented p orbitals also make a pi bond because it's a p overlap. So this actually, when it's representing a molecule like this, so it's acetylene with sp hybridization. So it looks like this. So if we were to account, we have 2 pi bonds, right? 2 pi bonds, because this pp interaction gives you 1 pi bond. This p interacted with another p gives you the second pi bond. And the sigma bond, which is the hybrid sigma bond here, hybrid sigma bond. And this is another sigma bond. This is another sigma bond. So this molecule, the acetylene, would have 3 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. So this is how sp hybrid orbitals makes up of a triple bond. So sp2 makes a pi bond, which is a double bond. sp also make a 2 pi bonds and 1 sigma bond to make a triple bond. So now sp3 always makes all sigma bonds. sp2 makes 1 pi bond and 1 sigma bond, that means a double bond. sp hybridized orbitals can make 2 pi bonds and 1 sigma bond, that is a triple bond. Now, so far we have studied a single bond, a double bond, and a triple bond, and they are made through hybrid orbitals. Next, we see properties of some of the triple bonds, this double bond, and also a single bond in terms of bond length and bond angle.